my name is Desirae Haluk. I am the Chief Queen Bee at Clairant Services. We are a boutique digital marketing agency. We're about 4 years old. All right, North Carolina. Valerie, thank you. And we really focus on content marketing. We've built websites. We do anything from social media to blogging, video editing, and we do email marketing. So that's really the gist of what we do at Clairant. But we are building, and we have built a new offer in the last 6 months, and we're pushing that out right now. But it really focuses on consultants, and we notice that consultants either have a team with no direction or they have no team at all, but they realize that marketing is really, really important. And so that's why we're here to uncover the secret formula to client growth for consultants, because it's definitely a pain point. Most people know that they need marketing, but they don't have the bandwidth to do it. So we will then carry on to talk about the ultimate marketing implementation plan. All right, so first of all, we will cover what we're going to talk about today. I don't know why this is, oops, sorry. I completely just X'd out of my slides. Give me a second here. And that is not it. Sorry about that. There we go. All right. So what we're going to talk about today is the absolute essentials to building a solid marketing foundation for your business. We will go over some of your gaps that you may have in your thought leadership. Some of you may not even have thought leadership going at all at this point. Others have a lot of it. We will go over lead generation must-haves when you're talking about running marketing campaigns. And then we'll go over the secret to gaining more clients, and we'll talk about how you can keep track of your marketing progress with metrics. So first in the chat, I want to understand, are you as a consultant or whatever you do for a living, are you trying to do too much with your marketing, or are you not doing enough for marketing? So please put that in the chat. Are you trying to do too much, or you're not doing enough? And we'll see what types of issues people are having. Never doing enough. I hear you, Sam. Oliver, so far, no need for marketing. Referrals get me new gigs. Okay, that's good. And that's usually what we find for consultants. They are relying on word of mouth or referrals for business. And that's like a lot of small to mid-sized businesses. And, then they end up realizing that that's not always the most reliable plan. Not doing enough, how to select the best channels to make the most of my time. Not sure where we are at. We get referrals most of the time. That's a really common thing that we find. So if you are doing too much, my advice to you is do not boil the ocean. Okay. Start with what works using data from what you actually did before. Okay, so what if you have marketing campaigns that you've run in the past, you either look at the metrics if you have KPIs that you've been measuring, understand the best ROI on which campaigns, and then focus on that one and continue to optimize it. If you are new to this or you have not been tracking any of your campaigns and you really don't know, I need for you to start with 3 lead generating activities. Okay. So make sure this could be email marketing. This could be running Google ads or social media ads. It could be creating lead magnets and lead funnels on your website, whatever that may be. If you're new to this, start with 3 of them, run these campaigns for 3 months. Then I want you to analyze the data from these campaigns. And then I want you to choose which ones performed the best and choose one of them and go with that one. Now, if they are all performing amazingly, please don't end them. That's great. That's wonderful. But usually one is going to outperform another. And so once you do realize that after about 3 months of running them, choose one and then start optimizing, because every single campaign can be optimized for both the target audience that you're focusing on and also the messaging in that campaign. Always be optimizing. Okay. So if you're doing too much, do not boil the ocean. You can get by choosing one lead generating channel and be very, very good at it. The second thing is if you're not doing enough. So here are some marketing strategy essentials that I want you to be focusing on. The first thing is aligning your key performance indicators with your company goals. So that could be a revenue goal. That could be how many new clients do you want this quarter, this year, this month. Make sure that you are aligning your marketing KPIs to match your sales goals. Okay. So that means if you have a revenue number to hit, you may want to work backwards from that revenue number and think, okay, well, what's the average revenue per customer that I generate? And so if that could be $10,000, that could be $100,000. It depends on what you actually are offering as a service. And then work backwards. So if you need 2 customers to reach X amount of revenue and your normal maybe conversion rates from a lead to a sales, maybe 10%, I'm just hypothetically speaking here, we all have our own numbers, then you're going to need X amount of leads to close X amount of deals, right? So that's how you work backwards to create goals and KPIs that you can be measuring every week and month and quarter and year. You also are going to need a brand guide. So a lot of companies, most companies do not have a proper brand guide. And it's very, very important, whether you are a one-man operation or if you have 50 people on your team or even 500, you need a brand guide. And what this does is it helps consistency throughout your marketing. These are the brand guides are the reasons why we are very privy to McDonald's and Nike and Apple, because they are so consistent with their branding. They are consistent with brand colors, the way they use their logos, font styles, their messaging. So a brand guide should have proper usage of logo. It should have a tagline. It should have your color palette on there with hex codes. Because remember, printing at one place is different than looking at something on a screen or printing at another. So you want to make sure those hex codes are attached to your color palette so that everybody is consistent when they're using the colors of your brand. Whether you have an internal team or an external team, everybody should have access to this brand guide. You also use a brand guide for your messaging, okay? So messaging is very, very important when it comes to how you explain your services and the description of your company and what you do, okay? There's a tone of voice attached to it. There's professionalism. Some brands are very sarcastic, fun, and humorous. Other brands are very serious and very professional. So this will be outlined in your brand guide. So make sure that you have one. And we do have templates for brand guides. Update your website. So remember that a website is an online storefront. So picture 2 coffee shops next door to each other. One of them, the window's broken, like a broken link, okay? Maybe the paint is chipping, the door's falling off, okay? It's not at all inviting. Then there's another coffee shop next door where there's music playing, they're freshly painted, the windows are washed and cleaned and new, the door works. Maybe there's a table and chairs sitting outside, there could be balloons. Which one feels more inviting to you? I want you to think of your website as the same thing, okay? Make it simple, easy to navigate through. Make sure your contact information is very easy to find. That is one huge pain point for a lot of websites where you're literally going through pages and pages just to find a phone number or an email. Make sure it's very easy to find. Have very clear call to actions on your website. What do you want visitors to do when they get there? And make sure you have a lot of internal and external links. This is going to help with SEO. But if you land on a blog, maybe if you have a service related to that blog topic, link to your service. If you have a video related to that blog topic, make sure you link to that video as well. So there's a lot of ways that you can use your website in a simplified manner so that you get people to stay there and hang out, which is very good for search engine optimization. The next thing is your Google business page. It is free. It is free to verify. You do need an address, so they will send a postcard to verify that you are truly a real business. Once you verify your business page, I want you to treat it like a social media platform. Make sure you are posting 5 days a week on it, update the images, the videos on there, make sure your hours of operation are up to date. Make sure that you are posting events. Anytime you have an event, make sure that you are posting the date, the time, maybe a link to registration. It could be a webinar, whatever it is, maybe in person. Google loves it when you keep this stuff updated. It is better for search engine optimization. You will get more traffic because of it. Another thing on Google Business Page is they make it very easy for you to collect reviews from your current clients. So next time you're on your Google Business Page, I want you to click on the review link. It will say, get more reviews. You click on that and it will literally allow you to copy and paste the link. And it will take somebody 10 seconds to click on 5 stars. Hopefully it's 5. And then there's a little section if they want to leave a comment. Super easy. Create a campaign. Send emails out to your current clients. You could send text messages, whatever it may be, and have a goal to get 5 reviews. If you have 5 reviews on your Google business page, you are going to rank higher on Google. They love 5 reviews is that minimum for you to hit that threshold. So work on your Google business page. Build a contact list and manage your leads. Your contact list is so important these days, and email marketing is very effective if you utilize it properly. Email marketing is not dead. It's only dead for those who do not use it properly. So build a contact list and make sure that they are quality leads, okay, or quality contacts, let's call them. You can find contacts for your target audience. Make sure you know who your target audience is first before you go out searching and fishing for these contacts. You can use Sales Navigator on LinkedIn. You can use lead411.com, which is approximately $200 for about 400 to 500 contacts a month. And you can, vary the packages and however much you're paying. But there are affordable ways for you to constantly be growing your list. Zoom Info is another one. Also, you can join associations. Find out where your target audience is congregating. Where do they all hang out? It could be conferences. It could be trade shows. Whatever that may be, make sure you are a part of it. Not only can you present and get people excited about what you do at those places, but you can also gain access to their membership lists, which means you can then build your contact list through that. And those usually are very active, qualified individuals. Then you want to start email marketing to them. Okay. So once you have a list, and when I talk about a list, I'm not saying hundreds. Okay. Obviously, a lot of us are starting at hundreds, but your goal is to be in the tens of thousands. Because if you're going to be it's a numbers game from email marketing. If you are going to be sending an email, you want to, you might as well send it to thousands of people rather than hundreds, right? And if you have 20% open rates and 2% click rates, again, it's a numbers game. The more you can send, the more you're going to get in response. Thought leadership. Everybody needs thought leadership, and consultants have a lot to talk about. You have a lot of information, and we will go into this deeper in the next few slides. But thought leadership is a must-have. If you are not writing blogs, creating videos, posting on social media, showing that you are an expert in the industry, then you need to start doing that today. And then finally, you need a follow-up plan. So many of our clients come to us and they're like, we want leads, and that's fine. And then we'll work on getting them leads. And then at the end of it, they're like, well, nothing happened. We have no new clients. And then once you actually analyze what happened, they stopped at when the lead came in. You can't do that. A lead is absolutely useless if you're not going to nurture that lead and try to close them. So you need a plan after the lead comes in, how you are going to convert them into a client. And we'll go over that in a little more detail later. So let me ask you now, back to the chat. Do you have gaps in your thought leadership? Are you blogging? Are you doing videos? Are you posting on social media regularly? Do you have gaps or Nothing. You're not doing anything. Okay. Gonna wait a couple minutes just so definitely have gaps. Nothing at all. So this seems to be a very common thing for a lot of consultants. And usually it's not because they don't have it, it's because they don't have the time to do it. There's no bandwidth to create these pieces of thought leadership. All right. So ideal thought leadership pieces. Okay. That's what we're looking at here. There are so many of them. So bandwidth, yes, Valerie, I get it. And that's what most consultants come to us with. They just do not have the bandwidth. So very obvious social media posting. We'll go over frequencies of this in the next slide, I believe, of a lot of these things, the main things. So make sure you are posting on your social media platforms and make sure you are present on the platforms where your audience hangs out. It's no sense to be on TikTok if none of your potential clients are going to be on TikTok, right? So make sure, probably most of you, LinkedIn is probably a big platform for you to be on, because I'm sure a lot of you are B2B, not necessarily, but probably. Blogs, make sure you are creating good quality articles about your expertise. What do you know about? Think about the pain points that your clients what frequently asked questions would they ask you if they were on a call with you? Create those questions into blog posts, okay? You can do the same for social posts for some of them. Create videos, use the same idea, okay? Videos are 366% more engaged with as opposed to text content. So videos are very, very effective. Website content or emails, obviously emails. You want to push out good quality content, speaking to your target audience, okay? Free good quality content. And we'll talk a little bit about free content later. Website content, always be updating your website with all of these thought leadership ideas. Post your blog consistently. Have videos on your website, case studies, white papers, reports, ebooks, articles. All of these things are amazing thought leadership pieces that you could be creating. Guides, templates, roadmaps, research studies. Do a webinar and a podcast. Even if you're a guest on them, have those recordings and put them on your website. Events, conferences, roundtables or panels, infographics and visual content, always awesome, especially if you guys have lots of statistics that you could talk about to your clients. Very, very good, or to your potential clients. And then finally, press releases. If something exciting happens with your company, make sure you put it on the wire. Now, we get a lot of questions asked. When should you be posting these things? This is the minimums that I want you guys posting things for thought leadership. So for social media, 5 posts per week, and with variety of different content. You want all of it to be quality content, but some of them can be testimonials, some can be promotional. Be easy on promotional ones though. Maybe do 1 post a week about promotions. Unless of course you are like e-commerce or something like that, but I'm sure most of you aren't. Make sure that, and it sounds like a lot, but it's not, because when you think about, if you have 1,000 or more people on your social media as followers, they come on at all different times. And even if you post something right now and 10 people are on, the next time someone posts on their feed is seconds later, and that's going to push your post down. So not everybody sees all 5 posts. Sometimes they don't see any of them. So that's why we say the minimum should be 5 posts per week. For blog posts, I want you creating 2 blogs per month. They can be 600 words or more. Make sure you add visualizations to them, whether that be charts or graphs or just images. Make sure you're doing at least 2 or more per month. Case studies, these are excellent because it's really showcasing how you change your clients' lives. Okay. And I don't mean you need 5 pages for a case study. I'm talking about a 1-pager where you talk about what the problem or the issue your client was facing when they approached you, what your solution was to that problem, and then what the results were later. And the best things with case studies are pulling out numbers like key performance indicators that show, like, for example, if your like a cost cutting consultant. You could say that we saved this company 30% over 3 months or something like that. So make sure you are pulling out statistics and then highlighting those almost in an infographical form on your case studies. That's very, very effective. Promotional emails, send one per week. Promotional emails. Okay. You want to stay top of mind. Just because a client isn't biting or a prospect isn't turning into a client today doesn't mean they won't 6 months from now or a year down the road. If you stay top of mind, then they're going to choose you when they're ready for your services. Webinars and podcasts, do them once per month. Either one, do at least once per month. If you can do them more, that's excellent. I had a client who did a webinar or a podcast twice a week. So that's a little bit excessive, but if you have the bandwidth for it, it's awesome content. Okay. And then finally, videos, do at least one video per month. If you are unable to take footage with video, and remember, you do not need fancy cameras for this. Use your smartphone. I have an iPhone. It takes amazing videos. And as long as there's even simplified editing software, or just find an editor to do it. But if you don't have any footage to take, use the recordings of your webinars to split them into mini videos. Okay, this is really effective because let's say this webinar I'm doing today, I'm talking about 5 different topics on increasing growth for consultants, right? Client growth. So I can take those 5 different topics and those are their own small, short videos. So that's a way of getting a lot of content and recycling content. Your written out blog can become a video, that can become a podcast, it can become a webinar. There's so many ways that you can recycle content. So don't feel like you will run out of ideas. You can definitely, use different channels or different modes of your marketing to kind of restructure them. So how many lead generation campaigns are you running right now? Gaines, I think I'm saying your name right, Gaines Taylor. Video length 1 to 3 minutes or longer. 1 to 3, I would say 1 to 2 minutes is ideal because of our short attention spans these days. But 5 minutes or more, it depends what you're doing. If it's like a training video, fine, you can do it longer and do like hit the 5-minute mark. But when you're talking about like just trying to give people tips and tricks or something really, really shorter is better in length. Maybe if you're giving a teaser, do a 30-second thing. But if you're actually giving more information, like even 1 to 3 is good, I would say. But ideal would probably be the 2-minute mark. So Oliver says 0 lead gen, mostly reconnecting with past colleagues. Okay. Anyone else? How many lead generation campaigns are you running? Just a few. Okay. Well, a few is better than nothing. No lead gen campaigns. Okay. Okay. That's good to know. We should be running these all the time, and it doesn't have to be constant. You just have to be prepared for lead generation campaigns. Here are some lead generation must-haves. Okay. So we talked already about the thought leadership. So when we're talking about lead generation campaigns, you don't want to ask somebody to pay for a service the second that you meet them, right? You have to work up into giving them good quality content for free first. And you have to test the different channels that you're actually generating these leads from, okay? So you want to use your thought leadership pieces to start generating interest. Interest could be, somebody, they could be registering for a webinar. They could be clicking on an email. They could be reading a case study, but in order for them to download the case study, you needed to collect their contact information. So that's called gated content. So use your thought leadership pieces and then choose which marketing channel you want to push them out on. You don't have to choose one, you can choose multiple. You can push, for example, videos, push them on email campaigns, post them on your YouTube channel. You can even do YouTube ads. You could do Google ads, social media ads. You can do webinars, events, whether they're online or in person, your website, and of course, traditional advertising, which isn't as popular these days. But be very creative with how you generate your leads. You want to, for example, on your website, create little lead magnets that you know that your product or that your target market is really interested in. What are their pain points and what are their gaps, so that you can fill those gaps with these little lead magnets. Which do you suggest for us to push first? So I would go with the easiest things first. So usually email is pretty easy. Most people do have a contact list. I would test everything with email first. Also with your website. So gate all of your content. If you have research studies, if you have reports, if you have videos, gate that content. Ask somebody for their email address in order for them to watch your video. That's very simple fix. If anybody has a web developer or anybody a little bit savvy with websites on your team, make sure that you're asking them to do that, because that's the way you're going to capture leads. Webinars are awesome. Webinars are super awesome. The problem with webinars is you have to have something to present. You have to prepare for them. You have to market them. It is, it's a lot of back end work for a webinar. So if you don't have that bandwidth, then maybe, work up to the webinars. Obviously, presentations are similar to webinars. You need to have a place to present. You need to invite people to the presentation. But I would say to start with email. That would be the first one that I would do. So let's talk about your value ladder. And I think Russell Brunson, who is a very famous author who wrote .com Secrets and the trilogy to that. Amazing book. If any of you have time to read it, you probably don't, but I'm always reading marketing books and learning. And I learned this value ladder from Russell Brunson. And this is our own Clairant version of it. But really what it does is it walks you through the path of this value ladder, pushing your prospects and turning them into clients with your thought leadership and with your offers. So if you think about, on the y-axis is price and the x-axis is value. So as you are increasing in value and giving people more and more value, you are asking them to pay more for that value. Okay. So you will have to start somewhere though. So on the bottom of the step, that's your free offer. So that could be signing up for a webinar. That could be watching your presentation. That could be downloading a PDF or a guide or a report or a case study or any information that your target audience would find valuable. And they would be like, yes, I love this. I want this. So if they accept your free offer, I would consider those people cold leads until they accept your free offer. So if they sign up to a webinar, or if they maybe they download a piece of content on your website, you now have their information. So they turn warm because they expressed interest in your content. So then you want to move them up. And if you can, in your email marketing platform, tag them as warm leads at this point, because you want to decipher between your cold leads who have never, ever seen your brand or your services or offering ever before. You want to decipher them from your warm and your hot leads, right? So when people become interested in your content, now they have hopped on a webinar or they, downloaded content, whatever, you have their information. They're now a warm lead. Now you want to ask them to maybe pay for something. Okay. So for example, your mid-value offer. So it could be a book maybe that you wrote in, maybe it would be a course that you're offering. Okay. So one of those mid-value price points that you can, because they're already hooked from your free piece of content. So now they're like, well, I really love what they do. So I'm going to start paying for a little bit more value. Then once they're customers, now they're hot leads, right? Now you can upsell and cross-sell to them. So now you want to offer the higher ticket items to those hot leads, and they're much more inclined to purchase from you. So you want to make it sort of this staircase of who you are marketing to and what information you're presenting to them. You don't want to go to a cold lead, your high ticket offers right away. You're never going to get anybody biting. You want to start small with your free content, hook them in, ask them to pay a little, then ask them to pay more. because for them, they're going to have absolutely no problem. When I come across an amazing digital marketer, I will attend their conferences, I will buy their books, I will take their courses, and now I'm this like lifetime customer, right? Because their content is so valuable to me. So that's how I want you to treat your thought leadership and the way you can use that for lead funnels and generating leads. Does anyone have questions about the value ladder? I'm going to stop here for a second. So let's talk about the secret to gaining more clients. Does anyone have any clue what that could be? Just throw anything out in the chat. The secret to gaining more clients. I did give a tiny hint earlier. The secret to gaining list communications, online presence, all of those things. Yes, I mean, absolutely, you need to build your online presence and your list, your communications, really building a solid marketing foundation. But what the real secret is follow up. So many of us have leads just sitting on our desks, our electronic desks, and that is really where the secret is, because a lot of us have leads, we don't even realize that they're there. And we don't realize, like, for example, we consider somebody clicking on an email to be an interested party. They're a lead. So what do you do with them? You don't ignore that they clicked on your email. They showed interest. You have to nurture them, follow up. Okay. And so what does that mean? It means get to the lead immediately, because we are so distracted in life that if I'm searching for some sort of consultant, maybe a leadership consultant, something like that, and I don't find them, or maybe I fill out a form, or I email, or I phone and I get voicemail and nobody gets back to me in 24 hours or even immediately, I then go to your competitor. And if they answer the phone or respond to me immediately, whether it's email or to a form fill, I'm going to probably give my business to them because they responded to me. All you have to do is respond, whether it's a text message, a phone call, an email, whatever it may be. Now, once you get to that lead, if you do not get a hold of that lead, it takes on average. So, okay, most salespeople, 80% of them give up after the first attempt. Do you know how many attempts it actually takes before you actually can close a lead? It's usually 12 touch points. And salespeople get very, very frustrated because they can't get a hold of these leads. Well, you have to keep trying. You also have to use different channels for touch points. So one of those could be direct messaging on LinkedIn or some social media platform. It could be text messaging. It could be phoning them, and it could be using email. That's 4 different modalities that you could use to contact these leads. So make the effort. It is very much worth it. And then once you do this, once you get an interested lead, you then want to organize your leads in your CRM. Make sure that you have them automatically notifying you if you need to follow up with them. So it could be 1 day, 3 days, 1 week, depending on where you're at in those 12 touch points. Okay. And my advice to you is to give it a month. Try for 1 month to reach them 12 times. If they do not respond to you in 1 month, put them back on your email nurturing list in the warm section. Okay. Remember, we talked about the cold at the bottom of that ladder, the warm and the hot. Put them back to the warm because they already expressed interest in something. So just keep sending them warm information on email. And then if they click again, you then start, following up. Okay. And don't give up. That is super, super important. Again, 80% of salespeople give up after the first attempt. Do not give up. You have to keep trying. And that is how you're going to gain more clients. Do you measure your marketing success with metrics? Yes or no? Do you actually have key performance indicators that you can see if last month was smaller than this month, or that campaign was better than this campaign? It could be measuring leads. It could be measuring qualified leads, contacts on your list. Do you guys measure this for marketing? Yes or no? No campaigns, so no related KPIs. Makes sense. No. Some. Okay. That's good. No. Okay. So most of you are no. So, what is the secret to measuring marketing success? First of all, create your goals, because your goals are going to determine which KPIs you actually want to be tracking, and make sure that they matter to your business. You can look up, in general, which KPIs you should be focusing on for marketing campaigns, but really it matters about your business. Some businesses are so bent on revenue, and others are more worried about how many customers. They don't care about what revenue is attached to the customer. Most of them do care about revenue, but there's a lot of different metrics that you can be measuring. So make sure that you tailor them to your business. And then track your lead all the way from where you found them to whether you closed the sale or whether you lost it. Okay, so the reason is because if you go in your CRM and you see all of your closed losses, and then you realize that they were all from the same source, then you're going to probably abandon using that source because the quality of the leads just weren't matching to what you're offering, right? So make sure that you are tracking them. It could go the other way as well. All of your closed leads may come from the same source, or if there's a commonality between them. That's how you're going to understand that, by tracking them and making sure that in your CRM, you're keeping notes. This lead came from this source. Revisit your statistics weekly to understand progress. Okay. This is really important, because if you have maybe an ad that's running for a month and you don't look at what's going on, whether it's like a paid ad on Google or social media or something, if you wait for the month, you could have optimized it so many times within that month. So make sure that you are keeping your eye on it, or have your marketing person doing that, because your statistics will speak a lot, and it will save you probably a lot of money so that you're not wasting it when you know that you could have tweaked the audience or you could have tweaked the messaging. So make sure you're looking at statistics all the time. If after 3 to 6 months you yield no results for your marketing campaigns, please try something new, because you should be seeing ROI between 3 and 6 months. I wouldn't say before 3 months to make that decision, because it does take time for marketing campaigns to ramp up, but definitely by 6 months, if you see nothing, then try something new. Now, would you all like to have an implementation plan for all of these things? A simple step-by-step, hold your hand, walk you through all of it? Absolutely. Thank you, Sam. Yep, Oliver. For sure. Awesome. Anna, Doll. Yes, thank you. And would it make your life easier if you were guided through an entire marketing implementation plan, whether or not you have a team? So that is one thing that a lot of consultants come to us. We don't have a team, or we do have a team, but what do we do with our team, right? Obviously, if you don't have a team, you need other people to do it for you. All right. So that's why we have built this amazing marketing implementation plan. Okay. And this is for time crunch consulting firms who they know the importance of marketing, but they have no bandwidth to do it. So for businesses with a team, then we have the done for you worker bee plan. And what this is we give you access to marketing milestones. These are milestones that you're going to reach in both of the programs, but our assessment phase is all about auditing and goal setting. We have a foundation module that's all about building your brand's image and standing your brand up on its feet. Lead generation is all about creating those campaigns to generate leads. Application is all about implementation using editable plans, templates, and roadmaps. Then there's thought leadership, which is just, we talked a lot about that, just showing that you're an expert in the industry on different modalities. And then finally, how do you measure it with metrics? Okay, how do you measure your success? And how do you get there? So how the program works is you will have weekly support calls with your dedicated marketing advisor. You will have scorecards for accountability checks and making sure that you're actually progressing throughout the program. You will have unlimited access to 6 marketing modules that you saw in the previous slide to prioritize your marketing needs. And these modules have roadmaps, templates, guidelines for seamless guidance, okay? Editable PDFs that are super simple for you to just walk through step by step, and then you have a plan for something. And finally, you have a program success checklist that will show you all of your accomplishments as you go through. It's a 6-month program. So the resources that you will have is unlimited access to our learning management system, which contains all of our modules with templates, roadmaps, and guidelines. And it's called Tetra. That's what we use for our learning management system. You will also have a customized Google Workspace for your business so that you can have easy access and communication with your marketing advisor and our team. So you want to make sure that you are, we are always staying in communication with each other, so that if you have questions, like if you have, maybe you're sending out an email that you want feedback on, you can post the email in Google Workspace, and then we will give you our feedback. So for the resources, these are just screenshots. This is an example on the left of our learning management system. And so you have access to the Ultimate Marketing Implementation Program there with all the modules. When you click into each module, you will see a bunch of your roadmaps and templates and guidelines. And then on the right, you see the Google Workspace. And so you have a task tab on there where on your calls, we will actually give you tasks to do every single week so that your team can get stuff done and you're actually accomplishing things. So that was for the businesses who have teams. For the businesses that do not have teams, then this is a done for you plan where every single thing is done for you. This is the beekeeper plan. And how this works is we will do all of your social media posting, 5 posts per week on every platform. We will also post 5 days a week on your Google business page, 2 prospect emails per week, 2 blogs posted on your website per month, unlimited website edits. You will get 2 edited videos per month, and then reasonable graphic design needs as requested. And the resources that you'll have will be 30-minute weekly calls for alignment and updates, 30-minute monthly calls for reporting and analytics on your social media insights, your email marketing, your blogs, and your general SEO and website updates. You will also get unlimited access to all modules, templates, and roadmaps with our LMS, just like I said in the other program. And you will also have a customized Google Workspace for easy communication with the Clairant team. So normally this is the price. So if you have a team with no direction, you would go to the worker bee plan. If you have no team at all, you would go to the beekeeper plan. These are the regular prices that we charge. Also, if you are not sure what you need, we offer free marketing audits for your company, just so you can learn more about what your marketing needs are. A lot of people are not aware that they're missing things or that they have gaps. So we do, if you're qualified, we do give you a free marketing audit. I am now going to open up to questions if anybody has any. So Oliver asked, is this your middle tier or your high tier pricing? So the beekeeper plan would be our highest tier. And then the worker bee plan would be the lower tier. So it just depends on whether you have a team to implement or not. And some of our clients who do the beekeeper plan, they have teams still, and they still get us to do all of that stuff. They just, it's more supplemental, but we still, marketing can really fill up time. So it's very time consuming. How did you run that campaign? Where did you find our emails, target the right people, etc.? Very good question. So LinkedIn probably for most, Oliver, but I also use Lead 411 to generate, which I mentioned earlier. So LinkedIn and Lead 411 are the 2 main places. Plus, we've had an ongoing list of people who subscribe to our website and stuff. So those people all get these emails or the invitations as well. But we use filters on Lead 411 to find our specific target audience. And that's how a lot of them got there. As well as LinkedIn, we'll just, we'll look through LinkedIn and see who would be fitting. So I would definitely recommend you do that, which is, it's time consuming, it's manual, but it's quality. And you would rather have a couple quality leads or contacts rather than 1,000 contacts that mean nothing to you, right? Sam said, if you don't have a team, will I still have to do a lot of the work with a beekeeper plan? That's a really good question, Sam. No, the answer is no. You really do nothing. The only thing would be helping us with thought leadership ideas. We can create the thought leadership for you, like the blogs, the videos, the emails, but we just need ideas coming from your expertise. And other than that, we deliver everything on our own. Any other questions? Is it hard to access deliverables? No, very easy to access deliverables. So we have Google Workspace set up, which you will have 24-hour access to. You can always ask questions and expect within 24 hours for everything to be answered. But we can deliver everything through Google Workspace, and it's really easy. You can even put an app on your phone so you can your deliverables on there as well. But that's a really good question, Sam. Thank you. Also for our work review plan, we have the LMS, the Learning Management System Tetra, where you can find all the PDFs and everything, and that's unlimited access. So you can do that anytime on your own time. There's also a few videos on there for learning as well. So, and that's only going to be added to. Anybody else with questions? Wait a minute. What's your KPI for webinar attendance? Well, it would be how many, okay, that's a good question. So webinar attendance would be how many people registered versus how many people attended. And the people who attended are going to be more hot, or let's call them warm leads, compared to the ones who just registered but didn't show up. But I would still not discount those people who did not show up. We usually have pretty good attendance. Like, I mean, today I think we had 90% attendance. I mean, you're lucky if you get 25% attendance. That's very normal to get 25% of registrants show up. Today we had 90, so we were really lucky. But so I would be measuring who registered, but also how many invites did you send out? So we do 4 invites via email for every single webinar. We put a banner on our website, and we also post 4 different social media posts organically. And we also do create events on social media on LinkedIn and Facebook. If I'm just starting out, will your plans help me prioritize my needs if I don't know where to start? Definitely, Sam. So what happens is you will receive a questionnaire when you first onboard with us. And that questionnaire will ask you a few questions about where your marketing gaps are in your opinion, and how do you rate those marketing gaps. So if you have 5 different things you're worried about for marketing, how do you rate the importance of each of them? And the highest of importance are going to be, that's where we will start with. And that's how we know which module you start with. But we will also conduct a marketing audit for you, whether you do it as a prospect or if you do it as a new client. We will conduct a free marketing audit, and then that will also help us determine. So we will get our perspective, you will have yours perspective, and that determines where we start. Good question, Sam. Oliver, one more thing about what your KPIs for webinar attendance. It would be the registered, the attendees, and then who turned into a client after that. So that's also, maybe it could be who asked a question, how many people asked questions, how many people engaged on the chat. Because a lot of times people just mute and they turn it off, they just listen, right? So not everybody is engaged. So those are other KPIs that you can be tracking for webinars. I want to thank everybody for spending the hour with us. I know that time is precious these days, and I truly appreciate you being here. I hope this was helpful. We will be doing webinars once a month with different topics on marketing. So be sure to look out for more of those invites, and we hope to see you next time.